You've been waiting for the sign, the shift, the proof, that undeniable moment when everything clicks and your desire manifests right before your eyes. You've done everything they said. You've affirmed until your throat went dry, repeating the words over and over, hoping they would take root. You've visualized so vividly that you could swear you felt it, like you were already living in that reality. You've held on to faith, some days with a gentle trust, other days with white-knuckled desperation, refusing to let go. Believing, trusting, waiting, and yet nothing. Another morning arrives, another day unfolds, and reality looks exactly the same. The mirror of your world reflects back the same circumstances, unchanged. You wonder, what am I missing? What is that one thing, the secret, the key, that makes it effortless for some but painfully slow for you? Neville Goddard spoke about it, yet it remains the most overlooked principle. Not because it's complicated, not because it's hidden, but because it's too simple. And yet, this one shift is the difference between endless waiting and instant knowing. Right now, you think you're manifesting. You believe you're doing all the right things, affirming, visualizing, staying positive. But beneath it all, you're still waiting. You're still checking, still searching, still measuring. And that waiting is the very thing keeping your desire out of reach. You wake up and check, has it happened yet? You analyze your feelings. Do I feel different today? You look for signs. Where's the proof? Every action, every thought rooted in seeking is reinforcing a single truth: you don't have it yet. And the more you confirm its absence, the more you keep yourself stuck in the state of not having. The reason your reality stays the same isn't because your affirmations aren't working. It's not because you need to visualize harder. It's not because the universe is testing you. It's because you are still the version of yourself who is waiting. And as long as you wait, you are telling reality, it's not here yet. And reality, always reflecting your inner state, listens. Every time you check, every time you doubt, you reaffirm the lack of what you want. You may not realize it, but each moment of wondering, each glance at your circumstances, each fleeting thought of why isn't it here yet, is feeding the state of waiting. You are embodying the version of yourself who lacks, rather than the version of yourself who already has. Think about it. When you truly have something, do you keep checking for it? Do you constantly remind yourself that it's there? No, you simply live with the certainty that it's already yours. If you had a car parked in your garage, you wouldn't spend your day questioning if it's still there. You wouldn't feel the need to affirm, I have a car, I have a car. You just know it's yours, and that knowing is effortless. But when it comes to your desires, you hesitate. You peek through the door, expecting to see your manifestation waiting for you, only to feel disappointed when it's not there. That disappointment becomes proof in your mind that you still don't have it, and that proof keeps you trapped in the same cycle. You keep telling the universe, I am still waiting, and so reality has no choice but to mirror that back to you. The state of waiting is deceptive. It disguises itself as hope, as patience, as persistence. It makes you believe you are doing everything right while keeping you stuck exactly where you are. It convinces you that effort, discipline, and repetition will bring what you want, when in reality, the only thing required is embodiment, the full acceptance that it is already yours. Manifestation is not about effort. It's not about convincing yourself or the universe. It's not about constantly checking, hoping, or waiting. It's about stepping into the knowing so completely that checking becomes irrelevant, that searching becomes unnecessary, that waiting dissolves, because, in your reality, it is already done. But right now, you are still looking, still measuring, still confirming the absence rather than the presence. And as long as you continue to do this, you will remain in the very state you are trying to escape. Because reality listens. It does not respond to your words alone, but to your entire being. And it gives you exactly what you embody. Neville didn't teach you to get something. He taught you to be something. His teachings were never about chasing or acquiring, but about becoming. The true shift in manifestation happens not when you try to bring something into your life, but when you embody the version of yourself who already has it. Most people affirm, visualize, and script with one underlying belief: I am doing this to make it happen. They go through the motions of manifestation techniques with the expectation that their efforts will create the desired result. But the moment you do something to make it happen, you are admitting that it hasn't happened yet. Your focus remains on the lack, on the waiting, and as a result, the delay continues. This is why your manifestations feel slow, because you are still the person who is trying, instead of the person who already is. The version of you who is trying is not the version of you who has. And as long as you remain in the state of effort, you reinforce the idea that your desire is something separate from you, something you must still attain. Neville's secret: you don't manifest by effort, you manifest by identity. The external world is merely a reflection of your inner state, and that state is dictated not by how hard you try, but by who you believe yourself to be. The moment you stop trying to get it and simply decide it is already yours, everything shifts. Not tomorrow, not next week, instantly. The shift does not require time because it is not about external circumstances changing first. It is about internal alignment, about stepping into the version of yourself who already has it now. When you truly accept that identity, reality follows. This is where most people get stuck. They think they need to do more, try harder, say their affirmations with more conviction, visualize longer, or script every single detail to force reality to change. But all of this effort comes from a place of lack, a place of waiting, a place of still seeing themselves as the person who does not yet have what they want. And as long as you see yourself that way, that is the reality that will persist. Because reality does not respond to what you want, it responds to who you are. If you are someone trying to get love, trying to get money, trying to get success, you are someone who does not have it yet. And reality will reflect that version of you, no matter how many techniques you use. Neville taught that manifestation is not about convincing the universe, it is about convincing yourself. It is about stepping into the version of you who already has what you want so completely that reality has no choice but to conform. You don't need to persuade the external world. You need to embody the state internally, so much so that your external world must adjust to match it. So the question is not, how do I make this happen? The question is, who am I right now? Are you still the person who is waiting, who is trying, who is looking for proof? Or are you the person who knows, who already is? Because the shift doesn't come from effort. It doesn't come from pushing or waiting or hoping. It comes from a decision so firm that you never feel the need to check again. A decision so final that you no longer wonder whether it's working, because in your mind, it is already done. And when you make that shift, when you stop trying to get it and instead embody the version of you who already has it, you will see what Neville meant. Everything changes, not gradually, not someday, but instantly. Think about this. When was the last time you doubted gravity? Do you ever wake up wondering if you'll float away today? Do you feel the need to affirm, gravity is working, gravity is real, I believe in gravity? Of course not. You don't question it because gravity is a fact to you, it simply is. That's exactly how manifestation works. The version of you who already has what you desire is not waiting, not checking, and not hoping. They are simply living as if it is already theirs. They are not concerned with whether it's coming or if they need to do more. They exist in the state of having, not in the state of seeking. Your only job is to become that version of you, not through effort, not through force, but by deciding, right now, that you already are. The shift does not require struggle, it requires a choice. The moment you make that choice, everything else aligns to reflect it. This is the difference between those who manifest effortlessly and those who struggle for years. The ones who succeed are not waiting for reality to change. They are living from the reality where it's already done. They do not see their desire as something in the future, something they need to reach for. To them, it is already a present reality. And when you adopt that mindset, reality has no choice but to catch up. But most people don't realize they are still treating their desires as something separate from them. They still see it as something to get, something to reach, something that requires effort. And that very mindset keeps it just out of reach. The moment you believe you must do something to get it, you are confirming that you don't have it. This keeps you locked in a cycle of wanting instead of being. Think about anything in your life that is already yours. You don't question it. You don't wonder when it will arrive. You don't try to manifest it. It's just there. Your name, your identity, your past experiences. You never wake up and reaffirm who you are because you already accept it as fact. That level of certainty is what makes manifestation effortless. This is what separates those who manifest easily from those who struggle. The ones who succeed don't obsess over techniques or signs. They don't wake up needing reassurance that their desire is coming. They simply live as if it's already theirs. They do not seek confirmation because they do not feel the need for it. And that's the key. Manifestation is not about wanting, it's about knowing. It's not about hoping, it's about being. The moment you step into that knowing, when you stop waiting, stop checking, stop seeking proof, you allow reality to mold itself around your decision. This is why some people seem to manifest with almost no effort. It's not luck. It's not some secret formula they found. It's that they embody what they want so completely that their external world has no choice but to reflect it. They are not waiting for evidence. They are living in the certainty that it is already done. So the real question is, are you still waiting? Still checking? Still wondering when it will come? Or have you decided, fully and completely, that it is already yours? Because once you do, everything shifts. Here's something no one tells you. The more you search for the answer, the further away you push it. Every video you watch, every technique you try, every new method you experiment with carries a hidden message. I still don't have it. And so, you keep searching, keep learning, keep consuming, thinking that the next piece of information will finally unlock what you've been looking for. Until one day, you realize you've spent years gathering knowledge but haven't moved an inch. You've studied every concept, memorized every principle, but the reality you desire still seems just out of reach. That's because you never needed more knowledge. You needed one decision. The decision that it's already done. That's it. But most people don't realize they are trapped in an endless cycle of searching. They believe the next video, the next book, or the next technique will be the missing piece. They convince themselves that if they just learn a little more, if they just find the right method, everything will finally fall into place. But the truth, it was never about the knowledge. It was always about you. You can know every technique in existence, but if you still see yourself as someone trying to manifest, you will always remain someone trying. Because the real shift doesn't happen through learning, it happens through being. It's not about how much you know, it's about who you believe yourself to be. Think about it. When was the last time you searched for proof that you are alive? When did you last look for a technique to confirm that you exist? You don't, because you just are. You don't question your existence. You don't seek validation for it. It's simply a fact. And that is exactly how your manifestations come effortlessly, when they become a fact in your mind, just like your own existence. The moment you stop looking for the answer outside of yourself and instead declare it done, you step into the version of you who already has it. And that version of you isn't searching, hoping, or wondering. They are simply living. And once you make that shift, the search ends, the struggle stops, and reality finally reflects what has always been yours. Right now, something inside you is shifting. It's subtle yet undeniable, a quiet knowing, a deep recognition, a moment of truth you can't unsee. You are beginning to realize that you were never meant to chase. You were never meant to wait. You were meant to be. And the moment you become the version of you who already has it, without needing to see proof first, that's when it happens. Not because you forced it, not because you figured it out, but because it was always yours. The desire was never separate from you. The only thing that ever kept it at a distance was the belief that you had to do something to make it happen. But what if you let go of that belief? What if, instead of proving or earning it, you simply allowed yourself to receive it? Manifestation isn't about waiting for evidence. It's about deciding that evidence is no longer needed. When you know it's done, reality has no choice but to reflect it back to you. So, are you ready to stop searching and start being? Comment below, it's already mine. I will meet you with another video. Happy manifesting.